Hello, hello! Perfidious Pete here, ready to once again face off against cobwebs and corruption as we head back into the hoary depths of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. And despite the cobwebs and my crippling fear of spiders, and sincerely, I have a legitimate, unmitigated phobia regarding arachnids. I'm absolutely horrified of them. But despite the cobwebs, we did still delve into the dungeon, and it went exceedingly well on our last episode. We didn't have a Gandalf along with us, but we're still successful in our effort to track down and stab the apprentice necromancer in the butthole until he died. And let's face it, getting stabbed to death via the butthole probably isn't the most noble way to leave this mortal plane. So you know that, well, the apprentice necromancer, they're making fun of him in hell right now. It's just, that's a thing that's going to happen. The other necromancers are down there just laughing hysterically. They say there's not a lot of joy or humor to be found in hell, but, well, the other necromancers in the guild, they found a little bit today, although in hell. So, you know. The whole scenario, really, with the repeated butthole stabbing was kind of disturbing, oddly, and it left me wondering slightly about Randolph Carter's kind of overall sanity, because as you can see, Randy came out of that mission with 18 stress, so which is almost none. And if you stab someone in a butthole until they die, I really think at least a little sort of mental discomfort would be the norm. I don't know, Randolph. I'm beginning to kind of wonder just how insane you may be. Now, perhaps your years of pimping the alumni of Miskatonic U for donations has inured you to all but the most labyrinthian of insanities, but still, I'm keeping an eye on you, man. I'm telling you. I got my eye on you, Randy. I'm keeping my eye on you, because just something not right about you. Especially with that mustache. What's going on with that, man? Trim that thing. Seriously, let's get out of hand. Alright, so our roster is full. I mean, we can sort of go into the stagecoach and look through the window here, a la Victoria's Secret style store. We don't actually want to go in, but it's always nice for a little window shopping. I don't really see anything that sort of piques my interest. That's not necessarily always true of the Victoria's Secret shop, but it's a subject for a different video. Anyway, really nothing to do here. As you can see, Roderick got some stress relief going on. All we need to do kind of is head down into the dungeon. We're looking still for some deeds. We do have a little bit of upgrading that we're still looking to do. Our blacksmith, gonna need 19 deeds. That's sort of a priority. We would like to get those up, but also the other thing that's kind of a priority for us is going to be the guild. We have a number of level 2 troopers, so some portraits would definitely not go awry either. I would like to be able to upgrade our skills to rank 3 for when our troopers get there. I think the first thing we're going to do, though, let's upgrade the skills that we do use for anyone who's available. And for Half-Cocked Jack, we're actually going to consider buying Point Blank Shot. And we're going to upgrade some skills, so let's spend a little cash here. Open Vein, I love. Fantastic ability. Grape Shot Blast, do quite like that as well. Point Blank Shot we're also going to take. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use Point Blank Shot and Duelist Advance sort of in a combination to give Half-Cocked a little bit more mobility. We do kind of want him to still be able to hit the back row. What are you? Point Blank Shot. Only hits the front row. Okay, Duelist Advance can hit anywhere. That's fine. Alright, so then let's take a look at old Half-Cocked and re-equip his abilities sort of in the appropriate form then. We're going to give him Point Blank Shot, Grape Shot, Duelist Advance, and Open Vein. We're going to do the same thing for Randy. This is what we're going to be sort of investing in this time. We're going to be putting a little bit of extra cash into A-Team. Sacrificial Stab, of course, getting leveled. Pokes to the butthole for everyone. Now, Hands from the Abyss, I kind of like it. It's okay. I would much rather have Vulnerability Hex, though, and I tell you why. Specifically, it's so we can combo better with our Bounty Hunter. So we're going to change Randy up just a little bit, and rather than Hands from the Abyss, we are going to give him Vulnerability Hex instead. Madeline Usher, apart from being just almost batshit bonkers insane, has been unbelievably solid performer for us. So we're just going to upgrade her across the board. And these other two, I'm really not a fan of Illumination or Hand of Light of all. I think they're kind of shit abilities, so I'm not even going to mess with those. Murph, drinking her troubles away. Oh, no, wait, Murph's in a sanitarium, sorry. Murphy's getting rid of some unfortunate bad habits that she picked up. So we're going to sort of take a B-team into the dungeon. Before we do that, we're going to spend a little cash upgrading our B-team. Candy Jade's going to be leading the charge. And give her weapons and armor. Lucy Pevensey also going to be in on the action, so it's weapons and armor for Lucy too. Do we want to take Jubal or Deckard? I think we'll probably take Deckard. I just want to look at his abilities really quick. He has Hook and Slice. Uppercut. He does not have Marked for Death. You know, Deckard, I'm not going to upgrade you because I may fire you. I gotta say, I'm not really your biggest fan at all. So we're going to upgrade all the abilities that we have. Oh, I did not mean to upgrade Uppercut, actually. Much prefer Hook and... you know what? Actually, I don't want either of those abilities. I want Finish Him, and I want that upgraded, because Finish Him can hit anywhere. I actually much prefer that ability. So, wasted some cash there. We absolutely did. No two ways about it. Simkin, though, is going to be our last man to get upgrades. I think Simkin is probably going to have to endure going on another mission. Alternatively, we could take Quasimodo. That's interesting. We're looking for a third slot, man, and Simkin should be good in a third. Yeah, you know what? Let's stick with Simkin. Debating whether I want to get rid of Dirk Stab. Thinking about taking Slice off instead. But then that doesn't leave him anything at all that can hit the front spot. You know what? That's fine. He can actually party ballad. So we are going to spend a little cash on Simkin as well, then some upgrades for the Simster. We are going to give him Slice off, and we're going to do some upgrades. So let's upgrade the abilities that we use. You know, I'm actually... I don't really like Solo, because you have to use it from the front rank. So there's a ton of cash spent. We've effectively wiped out our reserves. So let's go find ourselves a mission now that we're dead fucking broke and see what we can do. We still have not unlocked the Warrens. Why have we not unlocked the Warrens? It seems like the Warrens should be open. Alright, well, we are looking for portraits. Do we have any missions that offer portraits? We do not. We do have a medium-length mission, however, that's offering us an occultist-only item, which I don't like. Giving a bonus to your occultist bleed skills is a bad thing. I don't actually want to do that mission. We could go take a shot at the Wizened Hag, but I'd really prefer to have my A-team for kind of a boss rush mission. So I guess we're just going to take this short mission and hope maybe we can luck into some portraits. So I really want to try and get into the Warrens, but I guess we're just not today. So Candy Jade's going to be leading things off. We are going to have Jubal backing her up in the number 2 slot. Batting third today for the team is going to be Simkin, followed by a liberal dose of Lucy Pevensey. There's our team. 4 provisions. A little low on cash, so we're going to be a little cautious here. I'm only going to take 8 food, 2 shovels, and rather than buying more food, I'm going to buy medicinal herbs and rely on finding a beast carcass to kind of salvage the remains with those herbs. So we're going to cheap out on the food. And you know what? We're going torchless on this one. Normally, I prefer to play a highlight campaign. On some off-camera stuff, I have played with a sort of a low-light darkness campaign. It's a little bit different dynamic, and this time I'm going to go for the dark run here because it's a short mission and we're real low on gold because I've wasted probably more than I should have. But sorry, folks, you're going to be wandering around in the dark on this one. You just kind of buck up and get it. Now, we are going to get a lot more stress out of this as a result, but your troopers do tend to critical a little bit more. So some of the stress is negated a little bit. Really, I find that going with the low light or no light campaign, the only difference is the amount of money you spend on stress reduction. You spend more on stress reduction, you also get more treasure. The darker it gets, the better your loot options are. The main thing I've found difference is you do seem to earn a lot more trinkets while playing in the dark. It is, again, very much more dangerous, but you also do seem to earn more trinkets. We probably should have bought more than one shovel. Oh, I did buy them. Okay, good. For a second there, I thought I had a stroke and forgot what I was doing. Little old tree, Lucy. No fucking portal to Narnia in there, was there? Nope, just some hideous disease. So consider that when wandering into wardrobes and down the stumps of old trees, things of that nature, Lucy. Not all of them lead you to a magical realm of happiness. Some of them are just covered in sort of a viscous ooze that's going to get on your fingers. Speaking of which, though, you know... Oh, well, I guess Candy Jade is going to have to take a look at this tree. Oh, no, never mind. It was Lucy. Also, isn't that more of an Edmund thing, Lucy? Wasn't he the greedy one? 10% heal received and -8. Yeah, we're absolutely going to equip the Vestal Cup. That's quite good. Some psychic premonition from Lucy there. She must have had a brief communication with Aslan, who said, Look in the tree. Look in the tree. Your mysterious god lion commands it. Candy's just a selfish bitch, apparently, who's keeping 1,000 gold in a key.
Paid for in blood.
Yeah, you can say it's a boon, Candy, you fucking greedy bitch. Man, that's not cool, bro. I gotta say, I think Jubal Early is gonna have a serious problem with Candy taking kind of a cut of his haul. He seems like the kind of fellow who would object to that. Now, in order to avoid backtracking, we can't skip one room here. What I'm gonna do is just go this way. So once we get to this room, I'm going to come this way and around. That way we can still explore 90% of rooms and have no backtracking at all. Also, I can't help but notice our food gambit isn't really paying off this far either, as we have not found a beast carcass. Then again, we haven't been in a fight until this room either. I love the fact that we get to a fight just as our torch runs out. That's fantastic. And yet, somehow, we still surprise the enemy. You know, I think we'll just have Jubal go ahead and start collecting bounties. Since Candy Jade kind of, you know, I don't think there's any other way to say it. Let's just call a spade a spade. Candy fucked them pretty hard on that whole, I'm keeping all this cash for myself deal. Let's do, bleed out is such overkill. And it does give her a debuff, so does breakthrough. You know what, let's just hack. Let's go for the wicked hack on the uninjured cultist, get the kill there. Simpkin. You know, I don't really feel that we need to do the party ballad for the buff. I think we're going to be fine without it. A little more judgment for you, Mr. Acolyte. You have been found wanting, sir! And, yeah. That's going to be it. So there we go. This time, Candy Jade not keeping the shit for herself. Finding a little altruism there, which is good. I think Simpkin is a positive influence. He's having some positive effects on Candy regarding her selfish ways. I could burn that torch, but at this point, I'm sort of invested in the darkness. I've gone full-on Sam Neill. I've been absorbed by the darkness. We won't need eyes where we're going anyway, so I might as well just leave that torch off. Rabid Rush, the mean puppy's always biting Lucy Pevensey. She just can't seem to avoid these mean dogs. They're all over her. All over her. Like lion on or rather like God Lion on Pious Chick. They just can't get enough. Simkin with a little bit of slice. Starting a bleed, surprisingly enough. I think we'll just collect bounty here and see if we can get a kill. A massive critical from Jubal. Little stress reduction there. Again, criticals vastly more likely. Your troopers are considerably more likely to critical anything when they're in the darkness. They have a much higher critical chance. And then Candy goes and immediately just fucks the pooch. No pun intended, considering we're fighting kind of dog monsters. Lucy's going to patch herself up a bit. And that'll bring us to the next round. The mean dogs are going to bite Jubal early. You don't want to mess with Jubal, man. He's a lion. I mean, he doesn't consider himself a lion, but... Alright, Simkin, what do you got? Anything good? You know, maybe a ballad here would probably be the way to go. Let's get you the party ballad and see if we can stack up a little more crit for our already darkness-inspired crit boosts. Yeah, that's 2 for Jubal. You bite Jubal early, you're gonna pay the price. He doesn't screw around, man. He'll put the smackdown on you. Does have a soft spot for troubled young girls. Can't quite seem to bring River Tam to justice, but other than River, unless you're, you know, River Tam, you're in deep shit when it comes to facing off against Jubal. A little bit of gold. Once again, Candy Jade, not just straight up pocketing it. Candy does tend to have some money troubles, though, I guess. So maybe she was using those funds to help rebuild Max Overdrive from one of its several different times it's been destroyed. Who wants to check out the spooky old tree? Lucy? Sure, I'll look around and dig in an old tree. Sometimes a tree is just a tree. Ah, thank you for that sage advice, C.S. Lewis. That's exactly the kind of things I would have expected to find scribed in the covers of your pages. Sometimes a tree is just a tree. Very zen. We should have actually changed Jubal's abilities. I'd rather have finish him on there, but we do not, so let's just have him go ahead and throw a flashbang at the cultist. See if we can get him stunned while he's already surprised. A little party heal from Luce, I think, will do fine. Let's, get him bleeding there. That should close him out. He should not get to go before that is done. Have Simpkin start hacking. Putting some bleed on for himself. Candy Jade getting rent for the old gods. As opposed for the new gods, it's a kind of different flavor of rent. When you get rent for the new gods, you know, it doesn't hurt quite so much. They're more kinder and gentler than the old gods, who are sort of bloodthirsty and savage. More primal time. Speaking of bleed out. Oh, nope. A little bit of dodge there. Unexpected. Cultist bleeds to death, and that just leaves it up to Lucy. I think we're going to have Lucy go for the party heal. We could go for some damage here, but party heal is probably the right bet, because Simkin should be able to finish that guy. Oh no, Simkin. A rare miss. He may bleed before he gets a chance to go again, or Jubilee could just straight up hack his head off. That'll also do.
A trifling victory.
Alright, so let's take all this. We're gonna adjust. Let's... Simkin. That's not really what we wanted to do. There we go. Also, we're gonna adjust Jubal's abilities. Can we do that mid-dungeon? I believe we can. Yeah, we can. We're gonna get rid of Hook and Slice and take Finish him instead. Like that ability better. We also didn't switch Simkin, so we're gonna shuffle him up instead. And rather than Dirk Stab, we're gonna give him Slice Off. There we go. Now that most of the dungeon is done, we finally got our troopers sort of in the fighting trim that we meant to have them from the start. Because I'm not really that good at Darkest Dungeon. Anyway. Who wants to look in the old backpack? Oh, Candy, come on, don't be ripping him off again. Well, Candy Jade tried to rip us off, but failed simply because another thief had already beaten her to the punch. Gonna leave us with one food, and I really can't help but notice that we still have not found a beast carcass. So my whole Purify the Carcass gambit has been an absolute failure. Why are we surprising the enemy so much? We should be getting surprised. As you can see, if you mouse over when it's black as pitch, the heroes being surprised is a vastly increased chance of happening. So, you know. I guess luck's just with us today. Probably because we have Lucy Pevensey and she is the favorite of the gods. So, you know, I suppose that makes a modicum of sense. Speaking of favor of the gods, let's just kill this guy. Finish him was not quite enough to finish him. So clearly that skill is not necessarily appropriately named, is it? Gonna slice off that dude's limb. And I think we're gonna go through the breakthrough here, because it might... Never mind. I was saying perhaps the breakthrough might generate a couple kills for us, but... Well, that was a pipe dream, folks. A pipe dream. Also, I don't know about you, but I don't often dream about pipes. Then again, I don't dream much at all, but still. I think pipes would be kind of an odd thing to dream about. Well, let's go for Marked for Death then, or rather finish him, because this guy is not gone yet. Okay, so that's the most inappropriately named ability of all time. It does everything but finish him. It should be called Don't Finish Him. They should just rename that ability Show Some Mercy. Candy Jade's still getting shit killed. That's dazzling like this guy, so we can maybe avoid some stress. That worked. It also raised our torch level, which I'm not... If we're going full on dark, I don't really like that.
Slightest lapse in concentration.
And okay, so that guy's just gonna go twice. That's fine. No, you're entitled, I guess. And you are dead. You just don't know it yet. So we're gonna go for Slice Off then. Let's go for the party heal, because this one's free. Like I said, this guy is dead. It just his body hasn't caught up with the fact yet. Also, Jubilee just hit him in the face with an axe. That'll help too.
This expedition at least promises success.
So we got some additional food. I mean, still not a full... You know, I don't trust that unlocked strongbox. Okay, well, that's fine. It's unlocked, but I still didn't trust it. 2 deeds and a seer stone. That's actually real good. The seer stone is quite useful. Who should we put that on? Let's give that to Jubal early, actually. He's a bounty hunter. It seems sort of thematically appropriate. I mean, anyone really can wear that, so it's not a problem, but it just seems kind of thematic that our bounty hunter should be the scout. Simkin just going to wander straight into a trap because he loves stress. I often wonder about that guy. Candy's going to rob us again. You wonder how what works, Candy? It's a fucking sack. Seriously, are you honestly confused about how a fucking sack works? Are you the dumbest human on the planet? How does this sack work? And there we go. So, mission complete. Also, we got scouting for whatever reason. We could go to this other room, but I don't really feel it's worth the trek. We're going to have to backtrack twice. It's going to be extra stress in the pitch black. Really, I think bailing out is sort of the correct move. Honestly, we're also looking to get into the Warrens. It's kind of what we're looking for. Hopefully, this mission may unlock it. Or we may have to go back and do more missions in the main dungeon. In the first dungeon, rather. So, a reasonable amount of cash there. 6,400 and some change. Some heirlooms, not a ton of them, but not really enough to do much with. Candy is a nymphomaniac, which is good, I guess, for Candy because she only will go to the brothel anyway. So, I suppose that makes sense. Why she'll only go to the brothel because she's a nymphomaniac. Also, somewhat appropriate from a character standpoint, thematically. Stout, Jubal early. Simkin misses the spot, but picked up Backtracker. Misses the spot actually really kind of sucks. Penalties to crit are terrible. And a Ruins Adventurer for Lucy Pevensey, which seems... I don't know. I guess they did some delving through ruins in the Narnia books, although not a ton of it to my knowledge. It means more like Forest Adventurer seems more appropriate. Which I guess in this would translate to Wheeled Adventurer, but still.
And it is shameful that I must rely upon
Alright, so...
to set it right.
Old Murph, no longer afraid of fingers. Oh wait, that would be phalangophobia, I guess. No, never mind. Whatever that was, she got rid of it. And Roderick Usher has gotten rid of his crippling case of lockjaw. So, that's fantastic. I believe Roderick may also need... I was going to say may need some stress reduction, but actually I think he needs to go back to the sanitarium more, so... Insy Winsy. Sorry, Rod, you've really got a very, very large number of negative drawbacks. We're going to get rid of soft this time. And do we have anyone else that maybe need to seek some mental treatment for... Misses the spot is so bad. Not Randolph Carter. That guy's neurosis free. Madeline has some bad quirks, but none of them are really, truly terrifying. Thin-blooded. Scattering is not great. Thin-blooded also not great, but again, not really a problem. Hannibal Lecter, what are you? You have flawed release. Well, that's actually terrible for you. Candy? You're a kleptomaniac. You only go to the brothel. You're curious. I don't necessarily love kleptomaniac, but I think you can probably survive it. Yeah, no, I think that's actually pretty good for this week. I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Not a whole lot left to do. We're going to put Sir Roderick in. You know what? We need to get a little stress relief. Simkin is a little bit worried. He cannot gamble. So, you know what? Let's just get Simkin hammered. We'll just send him to the bar to get wasted. And he can get falling down drunk, puke on the floor, have himself a good old time. Everyone will be pleased with those antics, except for, of course, the bartender has to clean up the inevitable mess. But, hey! If you're a bartender, that's part and parcel with the whole gig. That comes sort of along with the package. You're going to be cleaning up some puke, so just get accustomed to that fact. Anyway, I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Your support does really mean a lot to us. And if you'd like to see more Darkest Dungeon 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, consider subscribing as well. We'll see you again soon.